My 18F stepbrother, 20M, wrote creepy sex stories with us as the main characters. My mom and dad got divorced 4 years ago. After the divorce, my mom quickly found a new guy and dragged me halfway across the country to marry him. Now I live with him and his son David together in his house. I always found David a bit weird and strange. He is more of a loner and hasn't really any friends, so I tried to be friendly to him. I pretended to show interest in his hobbies and gave him fashion advice. But I guess this was a mistake since he started making awkward jokes about how weird it would be if we started dating. He also started to give me unwanted compliments and began acting really bitter towards my boyfriend. I talked to him about this and put an end to this, or so I thought. Yesterday I texted him to ask if I could move a series from his hard drive onto my laptop, and he told me where to find his hard drive. It wasn't where he said it would be, so I looked through his desk and found what I thought was the same hard drive. I plugged it into my laptop and quickly realized it wasn't the same one that he kept the series on. It only had one folder titled Sex Stories. At that point, I should have stopped looking, but I didn't. I know snooping is wrong, and I really have no excuse. As it turned out, the folder contained over 30 sex stories my stepbrother wrote himself. I didn't read all of them, but the few I read all followed more or less the same pattern. The protagonist, who resembles my stepbrother, has a crush on his stepsister who looks exactly like me. The protagonist is a great guy and not like all these awful guys who don't respect her or women in general, but his stepsister won't see it until some bullshit happens. Stepsister's BF dumps her for another girl and she finds comfort in her stepbrother's arms, or stepsister's BF leaves her shortly before prom and she is forced to go with her stepbrother but finds out how great he is, or he saves his stepsister from a drunk in a bar. You get the idea. Then they proceed to have the greatest sex ever and his stepsister falls in love with him and finally sees what a great guy he is. This whole stuff was truly creepy and freaked the fuck out of me. I got genuinely scared of my stepbro, but when I told my parents about this they didn't really seem to care and just told him to delete the stories. I got really angry at my parents for not taking my worries seriously. I packed my things and left to stay with my best friend. I don't know where to go from here. What should I do next?